Wow. G'day, guys. Welcome back. The Blues versus Hurricanes for a spot to host a home game for the Super Rugby this year. And wow. What a crazy, crazy game. This was a game, really. Just putting all the All Blacks on display. It's just like, the civil war amongst the All Blacks. And yeah, some players really showed that they have taken the next level, getting themselves ready for the Rugby World Cup. And that man is right here, Mark Talea. I mean, this guy, last year his performances for the Blues, I wasn't even that impressed. I thought it was awful. I was joking about the fact that he couldn't catch the ball. His execution was just not that clinical last year. And then, obviously, he wasn't really getting an opportunity at the All Blacks. He didn't get an opportunity at the All Blacks to right at the end of the season, where he was at the end of the season tour in Europe, and he got a couple of games, and he was much better in those two games than he played in Super Rugby. Okay, so there was a massive improvement of his performance from Super Rugby to the end of the year where he debuted for the All Blacks, and this year he has taken that good performance for the All Blacks to another level. This guy is insane. It's absolutely insane. Forget about dropping the balls, right? He's able to pick up the balls, scoop up the balls out of nowhere, okay? It's just comical watching how good this guy is. He's like untouchable when he gets the ball. And it's almost like, right, you probably have seen this. It's like when you watch one of those, it's actually like the Matrix, right? It's like everybody's moving in slow motion for this guy. He's just stepping through people, shrugging players off like they're nothing. Like he's in the Matrix, everybody's in slow motion, he just easily dodges through everyone and goes in for the try. 4 tries for this guy today, okay? Unbelievable. And by the way, after he scores, he's not even like gasping. He's just like, yeah, I just scored. Not even tired. I can just do this all day. Like, it's insane how good this guy is. He's... Oh man, it's scary because that All Blacks winger jersey is just getting more and more and more stacked. And man, Mark Talea, unbelievable performance. Speaking of performances, really, really bad today was Jordie Barrett. His goal kicking was non-existent. I mean, he is the starting goal kicker for the All Blacks. This will have Ian Foster really, really concerned, right? Jordie Barrett missed how many? Let's just get it up because he missed so many kicks today. How many was it missed? How many did he miss? He got 2 out of 7. Oh, and like it was so bad, right? It wasn't even like, oh, he missed it just by a little bit. It was just like way off, like by miles. A lot of these kicks it wasn't even close, and he was all and towards the end of the game, he was looking like he was giving up. He was literally just like punting the ball as hard as he could and just went, whatever, I don't care. It was like he was giving up, which was really concerning. As a professional, you should never really give up. He was just like, whatever, I'm just going to punt it. And the ball just goes way off, wasn't even close. And then somebody else had to take over the kicking duty. One of the other players had to take over the kicking duty right out of the end. And the other player wasn't that good either. He was missing. But yeah, it was horrendous performance by Jordie Barrett. And also, what's happening with him? Like he looked gassed. He just looked like he was gasping for air the entire time. Like he's just like not fit or something. He had a week off last week. He should be like energized, but he just looked tired. Like he was gassing the whole game. So I don't know what's going on there with Jordie Barrett. He was really, really off. The other guy, Adi Savia, on the other hand, looked like he's working overtime. He was gassed, right? He looked like he was exhausted, but he was working so hard. Like he was basically doing everything in the game. Okay, so 2 kind of end of the spectrum there. Both players looking extremely tired, but for some reason, Jordie Barrett is just like giving up on his kicks and really wasn't performing. And then, yeah, the battle of the front rowers as well. This is the battle for the All Blacks starting tight head, starting props. Nipo Lala, Terrell Lomax, and Ofa Tuanga Fasi are all, All Blacks prop selection right up in the pecking order. Terrell Lomax really did show that he's the best tight head prop in the world. And Tuanga Fasi was doing quite good from the loose air side, but Terrell Lomax was really like, yeah, I thought the Hurricanes scrum had a bit of dominance over there. But the guy next to him, Osafa Amoa, has been consistently really good this season with his like hard running, line breaks, playing almost like a center. And I think maybe it's time to actually put him at center, right? Take Jordy Barrett out of the way and have Osafa Amoa move to the center, because he was not able to get any of the lineout throws. It was so bad. Like, the lineout throws was just not straight. Like, what, five of them, I think it was, 5 of them in a row, not straight. Just uncontested as well. It wasn't like the Blues didn't even bother jumping. They're just like, yeah, he's probably just gonna throw this one away as well. Let's watch. And sure enough, he throws it not straight, 5 of them. This was so bad. Another really bad performance. It was raining this game, but I mean, that shouldn't really affect you that much as a professional player, right? And that was pretty much, that was really bad as well. And finally, Bryce Him, he has been pretty good. I thought it was really good last year. I was surprised it was left out of the, I don't know what's his status. Like, is he available to play for the All Blacks? I thought his performances last year warranted some kind of, I thought it was really good last year, like, to be honest, Bryce Him. So today as well, he was really, really good. Some really good kicking game. Some good carry game, setting up Rieko Ioane, just like creating space for Rieko to do what he does best as a, winger. Okay, I don't know why he's outside center, because he's just so much better as a winger. Like, he just carves people up when he gets to the ball with free open space. He's just gone, right? Like, Bryce Him did really well this game, setting up Rieko Ioane. And the Blues had a really dominant first half. And then in the second half, the Hurricanes kind of like clawed themselves back. And then Jordy Barrett's missed kicks was just like so bad. If he had got the kicks, the Hurricanes probably could have won. If he had just landed more than like 50%, right? If he had done 50%, Hurricanes would have won this game. But he couldn't even do that. So yeah, it was, oh my God, it was so many missed opportunities for the Hurricanes. And then there was, it was so bad that there was one point where the Hurricanes had options to kick for 3 points, and they're just like, nah, let's not do that again. He's gonna miss this one, even though it was like right in front. And it was really, really poor performance by Jordy Barrett. And then the one final point for the two teams was that right at the end, it was just like, again, the Hurricanes had a chance to come back. Jordy Barrett couldn't land the kick. The gap was shortened up to 6 points, and then was it 6 points? Yeah, it was 6 points gap. So the Hurricanes could still win this with converted try with about 2 minutes left. And Mark Talea, man, he just like, it was just comical, this final try where he scored. The ball, Bryce Him like grabbing the ball down the field after Caleb Clark winning the kickoff for the Blues. So just imagine this. The ball's bouncing the ground towards the try line. Hurricanes player swarms over it trying to catch the ball. There was 3 players swarming over the ball trying to get it. And Mark Clare is just like casually jogging, right? He looked like he was jogging, but he was running really fast. Like, look at him jogging. And then all 3 Hurricanes players slips over and misses the ball. Like, he was just comical. And Talea just strolls in, picks it up, puts the ball down. 4th try, game over, Blues win. It was just insane. It was absolutely like comical. It was like it was like if this was cartoon, you would have heard the sound. You know that we saw like all 3 players just going and then Mark Talea scoops it up like in slow motion. Okay, it was so insane. Anyway, let's go through some of the match stats before I drag along. 6 tries for the Blues, Hurricanes 4, 333 run minutes for the Blues, 305 for the Hurricanes, 18 turnovers conceded for the Blues, and the Hurricanes, only conceded 10. 106 tackles made for the Blues, 148 for the Hurricanes, 19 missed tackles for both teams, so slightly better percentage-wise for Hurricanes. Bit of a kicking game. Despite there was a lot of rain, I thought the kicking game would have been there would have been more. I was expecting more kicking because of the rain, but yeah, both teams are actually quite tame on their kicking and quite happy to run the ball. A lot of missed kicks for like the the Blues only had 50% kicking rate, and they were just like way ahead, just like way ahead in their kicking because Jordie Barrett got one. He got 1 out of 6, and there was one last kick that was missed. Oh, actually, he got 2 out of 6. There was one last kick that was missed by another player that was replacing Jordie Barrett's kicking. So yeah, obviously we know this is wrong. There was so many lineouts lost by the Hurricanes for not straight or something. Amura was struggling. Scrums I thought was quite interesting to see with all the All Blacks on the field. I thought in the second half when Owen Franks came on, the Hurricanes looked really good. I thought Owen Franks looked quite good as well today. Penalties conceded, 11 against the Blues, 9 against the Hurricanes. So quite okay for both teams. Let's just go through some of this crazy stuff this game, right? So 10 minutes into the game, Mark Talea gets the ball. Nice crash down center field, breaks through for the first try. So the Blues basically was camped inside the Hurricanes half. They had a scrum penalty. I think it was a scrum penalty. I think it was they had a penalty. They had a scrum, right? Just outside the Hurricanes try line. And the ball just goes out and just basically wasn't like Talea was just like playing as a center. The ball goes to him. He just ran this nice little like step inside and just punches straight through for the try. Like it was just so easy. Like it was just it was just like he looked so easy straight through. Like it was just like a hot knife through a butter, whoosh, straight through for the first try. 7 points on the ball for the Blues. Oh yeah, Hurricanes had a penalty earlier in the game, but Jordie Barrett kicked that. So Blues gets the first try, and then 90 minutes into the game, the Blues was again just putting more pressure on the Hurricanes. Just nice hands all the way to the edge of the field. They got really close, and then Blues just piled on pick and go with a lot of patience, and eventually Hoskins to Tutu, nice little body shape, crashes in for the second try for the Blues, and then So yeah, and then there was I think what happened was the Hurricanes, I think it was a charge down, or one of the Blues, I think the Blues was charged down one of the kicks, or maybe the Hurricanes kicked the ball to the Blues. But anyway, the ball kind of like was the Blues was like basically had a bit of a fumbling the ball around, and the ball basically went backwards for the Blues. So the Blues players were scrambling back to pick up the ball. The ball gets scooped up by one of the Blues players. I can't remember who it was, and he just like flung the ball like out wide, right? Like imagine he's like struggling. He's under pressure. He just like flung the ball out to Mark Talea that was outside of him. And Talea gets the ball just like, don't worry guys, I'll sort this. He just ran through 4 people straight through the center, 50 meters, try out of nowhere. Okay, and provided that, I'm pretty sure it was like a group of forwards, but still, it was just like slow motion, right? It was just like running, and then everybody's like looking at him, and suddenly he's gone. And like all the forwards just like, yeah, we got you, mate. And then suddenly he's like just behind them, and they're all just like, oh no, oh what did happen? It was just ridiculously fast, like it was insane. So Talea gets his second try, 27 minutes of the game. So just before halftime, finally, the Hurricanes was under so much pressure, managed to get themselves a try. A nice little half break by Wildkard. He kind of like breaks through, and then he pops the ball to his partner in crime, that other number 4, Walker, I think. What's his name? Blackwell, yeah. He pops the ball to Blackwell, and then Blackwell runs down the field a little bit and just throws it back in the field to a much faster player, like over the top to a much faster player, Rugby, and then Rugby goes in for the Hurricanes' first try just before halftime. And then just before halftime, there was a chance for Jordie Barrett to kick the goal to kind of like, close out the gap to 19 points to 13, and he just completely missed that. I was right in front. In fact, the coach at the halftime interview thought the ball went through, and she was just like, yeah, we're just, 19 points to 13, we can still win this. Wasn't too bad considering how much. I'm just like, dude, you missed the last kick. You didn't watch it. You thought that was just like, because it was so easy. You probably thought it was guaranteed, and just didn't even watch the kick and just went into the change room getting ready for the meeting, right? And then like, so like in the interview, he was like, 19 points to 13 wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad of a result of the first half. And I'm just like, you missed the kick, mate. You completely did not expect that, did you? But anyway, the second half starts. 44 minutes into the game, there was there was another missed kick by Jordie Barrett. 50 minutes into the game, Jordie Barrett misses another one, and basically 50 minutes into the game, the Hurricanes gets the second try on the board. I think this was Jordie Barrett who made the tackle. I think it was Jordie Barrett hit on Sullivan, basically dislodges the ball backwards. It was massive here. This was really, really well done. And then Billy Proctor scoops up the ball, just runs down the field. No, I think it was who was it? I think it was what happened here? Let me just see. So Billy Proctor basically chases down, grabs the ball down the field, and then he scoops it up and runs in for a quick try. And then Hurricanes immediately gets himself back into the game. 19 points to 15, and Jordie Barrett misses this one. This was like a really easy, much easier kick, because Proctor was free. It was not that big of an angle. And then Jordie Barrett just misses, and he just looked like he was over it at this point. He was just like, yeah, whatever, I'm done. I don't care. Just randomly punted this, and this was easily kickable goal here. It was really, really bad. And then the game kind of stalled a little bit. There was a bit of a kicking game. So 63 minutes into the game. Once again, okay, imagine this. Talea, the Blues was just putting pressure onto the Hurricanes try line. Nobody's going anywhere, pick and go, no one's getting through. And then the ball goes out to the blind side. The ball kind of goes loose. It was just so much pressure, and the ball just rolls on the ground, right? Talea was on the wing. The ball rolls towards him. He scoops it up. Just went, don't worry, guys, I'll score this. So he just scoops the ball up in a really bad position. One of the defenders coming up was right in front of his face, right? Talea just ducks under the tackle. He literally just went under the tackles, basically shrugged them off, and then just runs straight in for the try. You were just what? He just it was so insane. He just out of nowhere, he scoops it up, ducks under a tackle, try time. 63 minutes into the game. And then after this try was scored, the Hurricanes had another opportunity to take 3 points. They instead opted for a scrum because they didn't have the confidence to kick this. Finally, 70 minutes into the game, Adi Savia made some big break and nice huge run. What happened here? Nice. Basically, Adi Savia was doing a lot of work in this game. Finally, in this one here, he gets the goal, pick and go. He just there was a lot of pick and goes for the Hurricanes. They got quite close to the try line. The ball goes out to Adi Savia. Adi Savia gets the ball, just throws it over the top to Holo on the wing, and it goes in for the third try for the Hurricanes. Jordie Barrett misses this one. He didn't even care. He just went straight out. And then Hurricanes gets himself back into the game. And then 3 minutes later, the Blues gets himself immediately back on the board. The Blues, at this point, it looks like the Hurricanes was getting ascendancy. And then they just gave away a bunch of stupid penalties and allowing the Blues getting back into the Hurricanes 22. Basically, the Blues had I think it was a line out. Yeah, it was a line out. The Blues had a line out. The line out just comes in. The ball goes to Bryce. Him runs through, literally shoulder charge through one of the players. Still kept the legs pumping. The second player comes up to take him out. And it just went, boop, nice little pop. Riku Ioane was shoulder to shoulder right next to him, gets the ball, runs down the field, just so quick, so fast, untouchable, straight through. It was insane. 73 minutes, Ioane gets his try. And then, finally, the Hurricanes fights back. The Blues had a scrum. The ball goes out. There was a missed pass. The ball rolls on the ground. Proctor scoops it up. Billy Proctor was doing really well this game, scoops it up. And then he just did a backhander pass to Holo, who runs in, and he gets tackled, and the rain made the ground quite wet. He slides in anyway and gets in the Hurricanes' fourth try. And then this was quite easy kick. One of the other player was kicking. Who was it kicking on behalf of? Yeah, Jamie Booth. I think Booth was kicking. But anyway, he misses as well. This was quite an easy kick, and he misses as well. Obviously, he's not normally a kicker. And then you thought that there was about 4 minutes left. If the Hurricanes can still potentially win this, kickoff, Caleb Clark steals the ball back for the Blues, and then Bryce Heem gets the ball on the side. Grubber kicks the kick ball down, and then 3 Hurricanes players slips over. Mark Talea scoops up the loose ball. Try time, and the Blues wins this one, 36 points to 25. Maybe the Barrett brothers are no longer good enough for the All Blacks. Maybe Jordie Barrett is just, maybe he's done. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. That was really, really bad from Jordie Barrett. And yeah, I don't know what's going on with him. He looked gassed and yeah, really bad attitude. Like he just couldn't get himself mentally back into the game after the misses. And yeah, let me know your thoughts, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. See you guys a bit later for more reviews.